Hi, Ben from Lover of Tech. Welcome to my extreme battery drain test between the Honor Magic V3 versus the Galaxy Z Fold 6 and the iPhone 15 Pro Max on mobile data only with no Wi-Fi option. Let's get into it. Now for the performance and battery specifications, starting with the Honor Magic V3. It is powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset and it's packing a 5150 mAh battery. The Galaxy Z Fold 6 is powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 4 Galaxy chipset and it's packing a 4400 mAh battery. And the iPhone 15 Pro Max is powered by Apple's A17 Pro custom chipset and it's packing approximately a 4442 mAh battery. Let's start things off with this extreme battery drain test between the Honor Magic V3 versus the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 and the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Now we will go through the full parameters of how we set up this extreme battery drain test at the end of the test afterwards. But for now, with our extreme battery drain test, we are doing this on mobile data only with no Wi-Fi option. And with this test, we do shoot it as one continuous video with no stops, and we only speed up in the important areas so you don't have to sit around for hours like I had to. So if you appreciate the effort that goes into this type of setup, then be sure to like, subscribe, and turn the notifications so you don't miss any future videos on the Lover of Tech channel, especially when it comes to our extreme battery drain test. Road to 100k subscribers for 2024 or no later than mid-2025. But let's try and do it this year. It will be a lot of hard work, but with your help and support, it can definitely be something that we can do. So of course, we're going to take it through its paces, and the main crux of this battery drain test is definitely the foldables. The iPhone 15 Pro Max is more of a special guest in this particular situation. We're going to do half an hour on the inner display and half an hour on the outer display, just to give it an even matchup for how foldables are meant to be used, which is usually going to be a mix between the inner display and the outer display. And of course, the first application that we're doing this is TikTok. And I always say TikTok is like the wicked Wild West when it comes to posting vertical content and consuming it. So if you want to see more from us when it comes to vertical related tech content, then be sure to follow us at TikTok, and that is at Lover of Tech BA. So yeah, after 1 hour of TikTok, where will we be when it comes to these devices? Now, on the Magic V3 is on 92%, 36.0 degrees Celsius, minus 8% battery loss. And then with the Z Fold 6, it's on 87% battery, 38.0 degrees Celsius, minus 13% battery loss. And then the iPhone 15 Pro Max is on 90% battery, 37.1 degrees Celsius, minus 10% battery loss. So as we've gone through the motion, next is going to be Instagram Reels, an hour of Instagram Reels. And I've said it before, man. Instagram at the moment is like my favorite social media application when it comes to sending memes and reels to people, keeping in contact with them, and for what we do at Lover of Tech, behind the scenes BTS. So yeah, if you want to actually see what we're getting up to behind the scenes, what it takes to actually record these things, what's coming up next, and what we get up to on press trips and product launches, then be sure to follow us over at Instagram as well, at loveroftech_BA. Now, as we're pushing through the hour in motion in terms of Instagram Reels, where will we be when it comes to the battery percentage across the board for these devices? And it's looking like things are stronger on the Magic V3. And when we get to the 2 hour mark, it's 82% battery, 34.8 degrees Celsius, minus 10% battery loss. And then the Galaxy Z Fold 6 is on 72% battery, 37.7 degrees Celsius, minus 15% battery loss. And for the iPhone 15 Pro Max, it's on 74% battery, 38.1 degrees Celsius, minus 16% battery loss. So yeah, the Honor Magic V3 is the most efficient out of all of them so far, and that's a very good look. Now next is going to be Instagram Live, and Instagram Live is probably one of the most intensive parts of our extreme battery drain test, next to if and when we actually reach 4K video recording at 60 FPS on the flagship phone. When it comes to doing that continuously for what should be an hour, that's very intense. But when we look at Instagram Live, as we're pretty much going through, this is something that's going to be very hard on the device overall. And with Instagram Live, it's something I do on a regular basis when it comes to co-collaborative live streams with my other content creator buddies, as well as pretty much engaging with the audience that follow us and what we do here on a more personal level in terms of, questions, Q&As and stuff. So it's very relevant to my day-to-day usage when it comes to Instagram Live. So watching here to see how our phone performs is so important and key. Get to the 3 hour mark, 69% battery, 38.9 degrees Celsius, minus 13% battery loss on Honor Magic V3. And then it's 53% battery, 43.5 degrees Celsius, minus 19% battery loss on the Z Fold 6. So yeah, the Z Fold 6 took a big hit here. And then for the iPhone 15 Pro Max, it's on 56% battery, 39.6 degrees Celsius, minus 18% battery loss. So again, the Honor Magic V3 is in its bag right now. And at this stage, boy, I know it's in for a long one and it's about to take me the distance. Next up is YouTube. So we're doing 4K streaming over mobile data on YouTube, and this is with our definitive camera comparison of the S24 Ultra, iPhone 15 Pro Max, and the Pixel 8 Pro when it first came out in January for the S24 Ultra, and we're streaming this at 4K 60. And in this particular situation on mobile data, you can see it's very intensive on the modem when it comes to buffering and also mobile data usage. YouTube uses a lot of data when you're streaming at these high resolutions and frame rates. So just consider it. It's another intensive part. Get to the 4-hour mark, 57% battery, 35.7 degrees Celsius, minus 12% battery loss on the Honor Magic V3, 36% battery, 37.4 degrees Celsius, minus 17% battery loss on the Z Fold 6. And then 40% battery, 37.5 degrees Celsius, minus 16% battery loss on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So yeah, things are still looking strong on the Honor Magic V3. It's still well over 50% battery. Now, YouTube Music next. And this is definitely one of my favorite rap albums and projects of all time, Kanye West's College Dropout. And I'm telling you, doing this in the late hours of the early morning where I'm pretty much going to be wrapping up late hours, like around 3, 4, 5 a.m. in the morning. This album is timeless and it keeps me motivated once it gets to this section of the extreme battery drain test. It's always difficult having to sync them, but when I do, it's so satisfying having like a super loudspeaker of all these great songs coming through. So definitely let me know what your favorite album is. Now, when we get to the 5-hour mark, 44% battery, 34.1 degrees Celsius, minus 13% battery loss on the Honor Magic V3, 20% battery, 36.6 degrees Celsius, minus 16% battery loss on the Z Fold 6, and then 22% battery, 37.7 degrees Celsius, minus 18% battery loss on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Man, the iPhone 15 Pro Max just does not like YouTube Music, but it's my preferred choice because I do use YouTube Premium, which does come with YouTube Music, so that's what I do. Next is X Spaces. Is it X or Twitter? Which one are you going to be? Are you going to be, new school and just call it X, or still stick to Twitter Spaces? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, Twitter Spaces is more like a chat room service like what you see on apps like Clubhouse. Man, people remember Clubhouse, where you create a room, you kind of have conversations with your content creator buddies, your audience on what's pretty much happening or just topics of your choice. It's something I still do on a regular basis when I get a chance to. So it's a very important app usage for me when it comes to using my mobile phone. Now, 33% battery, 35.0 degrees Celsius, minus 11% battery loss at the 6-hour mark for the Honor Magic V3. And then 9% battery, 33.6 degrees Celsius, minus 11% battery loss on the Z Fold 6. And then 14% battery, 33.1 degrees Celsius, minus 8% battery loss on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Now, historically, when you go into the 4K 60 recording section for the camera, you need about 24 to 27% battery to get through the whole hour of recording. After 10 minutes, 29% battery on the Honor, 4% battery on the Samsung, and 12% battery on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Yeah, that Samsung's about to kick it in. You can see it below 5%. It's about to kick it in, and it actually does kick it in pretty much around now, and that is at the 6-hour mark, 16 minutes and 29 seconds. A final temperature reading of 38.6 degrees Celsius. In third place is the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. And at this particular point, it's 25% battery on the Honor Magic V3 and 9% battery on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. I'm telling you, it started at 33% battery. The Honor is going to cruise through this, and it should cruise through this when it comes to an hour of continuous 4K 60 recording. And that is no easy task for any phone to do in this extreme battery drain test. So yeah, it's pretty much got this in the bag. But how long is the iPhone going to last? And with the iPhone, it looks to pretty much hit 1% battery at the 6-hour, 41-minute, and 36-second mark. So very good in terms of what it's doing. And in fact, it's pretty much going to call it in at the 6-hour mark and 44 minutes, 0 seconds with a final temperature reading of 37.9 degrees Celsius. And in second place is the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Honestly, what they've done in terms of the app optimization for the software, the battery life for the iPhone 15 Pro Max and our controlled extreme battery drain test has improved over the month. So it's an even better look. When we get to the 7-hour mark, we now have 8% battery, 41.4 degrees Celsius, minus 25% battery loss. And like I said you need between 24 to 27% battery to get through an hour of continuous 4K 60 recording. Now we're in Asphalt Unite for gaming, and we get to 1% battery at the 7-hour, 17-minute mark for the Honor Magic V3. But I'm telling you, things just don't kick in when it comes to the Honor. It doesn't, because it's on 0% battery at 7 hours and 21 minutes and 40 seconds approximately. So when is it actually going to die? It's holding on to that 0% like no person's business. And it finally does decide to call it quits at 7 hours, 22 minutes and 39 seconds, a final temperature reading of 42.2 degrees Celsius. In first place, the Honor Magic V3. So in third place is the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 with a finishing time of 6 hours, 16 minutes and 29 seconds. This is pretty much par for the course for what we got before with the Z Fold 6. Actually, in fact, this one did run slightly longer, but again, it is par for the course in terms of the battery life that you should be getting on mobile data with our controlled extreme battery drain test for the Z Fold 6. So yeah, third place goes to the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 with a finishing time of 6 hours, 16 minutes and 29 seconds. So in second place is a special guest for this extreme battery drain test, the iPhone 15 Pro Max with a finishing time of 6 hours, 44 minutes and 0 seconds. Yes, this is a traditional slab phone. Apple don't do foldable phones, and we know the announcement of the iPhone 16 series is coming pretty much soon on the 9th of September. But for now, let's sneak in the iPhone and see how does the battery life compare to a normal traditional slab phone. And it does really well in terms of the current software update. Yeah, Apple have optimized this really well considering the battery cell. So imagine, we always say, if Apple actually put a 5,000 mAh battery into their smartphones, it would be absolutely god tier. But for now, second place, iPhone 15 Pro Max with a finishing time of 6 hours, 44 minutes and 0 seconds. And in first place is the Honor Magic V3 with a finishing time of 7 hours, 22 minutes and 39 seconds. Now, actually compare that to the Honor Magic V2 that we did our previous extreme battery drain test on. That did it in about 6 hours and 50 minutes, and it beat all the other foldables that we had on deck at that time. So to see such a generational improvement in terms of battery life, this is such a good look for Honor. And honestly, the form factor, the fact that it is as slim or even slightly slimmer than something like a Galaxy S24 Ultra when it's folded, man, it's an engineering masterpiece how they've even been able to put a bigger battery into the Honor Magic V3. But for this one, first place for this extreme battery drain test with a finishing time of 7 hours, 22 minutes and 39 seconds goes to the Honor Magic V3. Now that we've gone through this extreme battery drain test, what were the actual settings and parameters that we use for each device? Now, first, when it comes to the display, any form of adaptive or auto brightness feature has been disabled, and we've tried our best to actually calibrate these displays as close to 200 nits as possible. Of course, when it comes to the extreme battery drain test, we are pretty much using the outer and inner displays half an hour each point through the 1 hour testing cycle, just to make it fair between how you are pretty much supposed to use a foldable, which is going to be the outer display and the inner display. For the Honor Magic V3, when it comes to the display settings, we have left the smart resolution setting on by default, as well as the dynamic 120Hz refresh rate as well. The most important thing is that the performance mode has been left off by default. Things could change by enabling it, but for this one, we are leaving it off by default and checking the software. It is on the latest version of the current software given to us before embargo. Same applies for the Z Fold 6. When it comes to the display, we have left 120Hz adaptive refresh mode on. And the most important thing here, under the device care, when it comes to the performance profile, we have left it on standard and not changed it to light. Everything else pretty much is set in place, where any form of adaptive battery setting, power saver modes, or anything that's actually going to slow down and not give the most consistent battery performance all the way through, we have made sure to disable it on both these devices. And for the special guest appearance phone, which is the iPhone 15 Pro Max, when it comes to the battery profile, we are seeing that the battery health is at 100%, and any form of adaptive battery or optimized battery settings have been disabled where the options are available, and currently running on the latest software, which at the time of this recording is iOS 17.6.1 for the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Now that's it with this extreme battery drain test between the Honor Magic V3, the Galaxy Z Fold 6 and the iPhone 15 Pro Max. I've been thoroughly impressed with what Honor have done here, especially on the battery side for foldable. This is incredible work. What's your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below. That's it for me, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this, you know exactly what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. I hope you're all safe during this time. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.